Nancy Mace went on CNN and criticized Lauren Boebert, and she said that Mace was talking to on CNN Newsroom. She was on CNN Newsroom, and she said that, quote, "I have time after time condemned my colleagues on both sides of the aisle for racist tropes and remarks I find disgusting, and this is no different than any others." And Mace said, and I like that Nancy Mace went to Taiwan. I think that's great. I mean, I like that she went to Taiwan, and I like that she stuck a finger in the face of the Xi variant over there, the head of the CCP. Why is I think this is just stupid from Nancy Mace. You just went to Taiwan. China's kind of a bigger issue. Why are you getting into a phallus measuring contest over power with Republicans right now by going after Lauren Boebert? Nancy Mace had no reason to wade into that. And now, all day long, she's been in a fight with Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's just the stupidest damn thing I've ever seen, and I find it infuriating. She follows me on Twitter. I follow her. I don't have anything personal against her, but as my employee, and I don't care what state you're from, if you can be a deciding vote on anything that affects my taxes and or fate, then yes, you're my employee. I think this is a stupid unforced error. It's just a dumb error on her part. She should be going and talking about how she went to Taiwan and how China's so mad, and keep hammering that point till the cows come home. That is one of the biggest damn stories right now. And instead, she's going on CNN and allowing herself to be led into an inter-party squabble. This is why Republicans lose, because they can be so stupid. It was like she stepped all over her own story. She went to Taiwan. That's a huge story. China's threatening to invade Taiwan. The U.S. is still maintaining ties and recognizing it as a sovereign entity. That's huge. And she's stepping all over her own story with this. And I don't think it's a racist trope. And I think that's bottom-feeding analysis to call it such. Look, you know why? One of the reasons that came up is because there were and this was like local Wisconsin or local Minnesota reporting. It didn't come from like Red State or, somebody like actual local reporters were looking into after the whole thing with the campaign finance violation when she was running for office. Well, that just inspired people to start digging more. And so they did. And they found that she had some support, and there were some questionable associations with some questionable groups. And so people then jumped on that and said, oh, well, you have some sympathies here with some very questionable groups. And her campaign has never explained them. You don't get to hide. First off, race has nothing to do with it. If you're involved with a hate group that hates freedom and hates the West, or if you have sympathies with them, or if you don't condemn them, or if local reporters are pulling up stories about, previous ties, I'm so tired of people trying to hide their corruption behind false claims of racism. The fact that this woman was elected in the first place belies her claim, number one. Number two, what she's calling for is actual racism, to be catered to because of her identity and be allowed to skate on corruption, suspicion, and actual legitimate charges as it relates to campaign finance violations, because she is who she is. She actually wants an unfair playing field. So let's recalibrate our perspective when having the discussion on who the actual racist is here. But furthermore, she's a raging anti-Semite. This is not about, there's a difference between disagreeing with policies and decisions made by a specific sovereign nation and then talking about hating the people of that nation. We're all grown-ups here. We understand nuance. My show is not for stupid people or drive-bys who ignore nuance. She's not talking about disagreeing with Israeli government. She's talking about Israel as a whole and Jewish people. Numerous tweets to this effect illustrate this perspective she holds. That is not disagreeing with politics. It is anti-Semitism. The end. She's never apologized for it. Her own party refuses to hold her to account for it. So hell no. She has zero ground to discuss anything or lecture anyone here. And for any other Republican to toddle or stomp into this situation as a tool to increase their own profile is despicable. I cannot stand it when I see Republican lawmakers do it. I can't stand it when I see conservative clout chasers do it. They toddle or stomp into something because they have a fetish with increasing their own profile. I'll be damned, they don't put in the time and they won't do the work, but they're happy to have a fake phallus measuring contest on social media to try to increase their profile for clicks. Geez, I'm so glad those kind of patriots weren't around in the time of our founder, because we'd have the queen on our money. If you want to know who the real beta pansies are, I just explained it to you.